Welcome Chosen Undead to a cynically awesome playthrough. Today I'll be playing Dark Souls the board game. For this first playthrough I'll play as a solo character, and the character I've chosen is a knight. The mini boss I'll be facing will be the Titanite Demon. In future playthroughs I'll add more characters in the mix, as adding more characters changes the strategy and gets more difficult as you add more. Because I'll be going at this alone, I get my boost of 16 souls. Now this doesn't necessarily make it easier for a single player, but it does help to balance it out. Because as a single player, you'll be taking all of the enemy hits by yourself, and you'll be getting less souls per encounter as opposed to a group. So this boost helps me gather equipment and gear up for later encounters. Now, this treasure deck here will determine the pacing of the game. I could get some really good draws and breeze through all the encounters, or I could get some bad weapons and be forced to work with, well, trash. But because of its random nature, it means that each time you play, you'll build your character differently each time as opposed to always going to the same weapons every time. It'll be very rare that you make it through halfway through this entire deck. So we'll see what I get. And just to ensure its randomness, I'll cut and draw from there. I'll spend 2 souls to find 2 treasures. Each soul I spend lets me look at 1 treasure, but I'll spend 2 at a time. My first treasure, heal. My second treasure, black armor. Not as good as what I have on, although it does give me a dodge rating. Maybe I'll keep that for later. I'll spend 2 more souls. Let's see what I get this time. Effigy shield. You can equip the effigy shield in one hand while you have a 2-handed weapon. And a Titanite shard. Well, I can actually use that effigy shield if I upgrade my faith. If I spend 2 souls, I can increase my faith from 9 to 15. Which means I now have enough to use it. So I'll throw away my kite shield to wear the effigy shield. So I'll spend 2 more souls to look for 2 more treasures. What I really need is good armor and a good weapon. We get a blood gem. It will give my weapon the blood quality, which is pretty good. And a claymore. Now this is what I'm looking for. Let's see, to build that, I'm going to need to spend 2 souls to increase my strength by 1, and then 4 souls to increase it 1 more time. Unfortunately, I still can't quite make it, but if I spend 2 souls, I'll get my dexterity to 19. But now I have a goal. I need to get 4 souls to get this claymore. So I'm going to move to the southern tile and fight an encounter. This southern tile is a level 1 encounter, and we find a Silver Knight Swordsman, a Hollow Soldier, and a Crossbow Hollow. But we also find a treasure chest and a barrel. Since I came from the north, I get to place myself, and I'll choose this spot. Looking at our enemy behavior, the knight will move first 2 spaces towards me, and he will attack. My physical defense is a blue and a black, and I'm looking for 5. And I get it. 3, 4, 5 means I block all the damage, but that attack still has the push modifier, which means I need to be pushed one space away from the Silver Knight. Then the Hollow Soldier moves one space closer, and he can't quite reach me. Then the Crossbow Hollow moves backwards, and then shoots me from there. Crossbow Hollow's attack is 3, but it's magic damage. So I'm looking for my magical defense, in this case is only 2 black dice. Looking for 3. And I block that as well. Lucky me. So for my turn, I'm going to move for free into the Silver Knight's space, and then spend 4 stamina to do my heavy attack with my longsword. This attack is a blue and a black, and I'm looking for 3 because the Silver Knight has a resistance of 2. And I get that. Silver Knight only has 1 health, so he's gone. Then the monsters activate again. Hollow Soldier moving forward and attacking me for 4. And I block that. Then the Crossbow Hollow trying to get farther away from me. And he'll move 1. Attack me for 3. I block 2 of the damage, meaning I still take 1 for myself. At the start of my turn, I recover 2 stamina. And I might as well, you know what? I can move 1, I can move 2 and 3, which spends 2 stamina. Then I'll attack this Crossbow Hollow for 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for 2. And I get it. His resistance was only 1, and he only had 1 health. That ends my turn. This Hollow Soldier's trying to move forward. Can't reach me. I recover 2. And I'll stay put. He moves forward once more. I recover 2 again. Move in for free. And might as well spend 4 to guarantee this. And that Hollow Soldier is gone. Since I've defeated the encounter, I recover all of my stamina and damage. Plus, I also get to open up this treasure chest, which gives me 2 treasures. See what I get. Cura keys. Okay. And a sorcerer's staff. That's pretty good. I don't know if I would use it though, but it's an option. And lastly, I get 2 souls to put into my cache. So now I can move to a different tile, and I'll explore the tile to the east. We leave this card face up on the tile to show that I've cleared it. This new tile is a level 2 tile, so let's see what we got. We've got a large Hollow Soldier, a regular Hollow Soldier, and 2 more regular Hollow Soldiers. 1 barrel, and this tile is trapped, meaning I have to take these trap tokens and place them on the normal nodes on the tile that are not adjacent to the doorways. Then I get to place myself. I can only place myself on the normal nodes along the wall of the entryway that I came in from. In my tutorial, I showed that you could spawn on an enemy spawn node, but that was incorrect. Only on the normal ones. So, the large hollow moves forward, so does his buddy, and these 2 move up as well. I'll move in for free. And use my 4 stamina attack against one of the hollows in my space. Getting rid of 1. It's their turn. The large Hollow Soldier moves first, then so does his buddy, and then the one on my space will attack me, looking for 4. I only block 2. But now it's my turn. I recover 2, and I might as well spend 4 again to make sure this guy is dead. And I got it. He's gone. And I get to make my free move out of here. The enemies move forward, still can't reach me, and I recover 2 stamina. This time, I'll move in for free, and I'll attack the smaller hollow soldier with my regular no stamina attack, looking for 2. Getting it. He's gone. Now when the large hollow soldier activates, he has a push move on his behavior card, which means first he pushes me for free, then he's trying to move onto my space, which will push me again. But that push, I get to block. And I'm looking for 5. And I block 3 of the damage, meaning I still take 2. Now I only blocked the damage because I still got hit, the push still affects me. If I was dodging, I wouldn't have gotten hit, and so I also wouldn't have gotten pushed. So now that it's my turn, I recover. I have an idea, so I'll move backwards 1, so that when the monster moves, he moves forward, then it's my turn, and I recover 2 stamina again. Now that it's my turn, I'll go in for free, spend 4, and use my heavy attack. Hitting him for 4, his resistance is 1, so he takes 3 damage. Now if I were to take another hit from him, I would probably die, so I'm going to drink my Estus flask, which recovers all of my stamina and all of my damage, and that ends my turn. So the hollow soldier pushes, moves, pushes again, and I'm trying to block for 5. And only take 1 damage. I would have actually survived that other attack. But too late now. Move in, spend 4, and he's dead. Because he only has 5 health. Another successful encounter means I recover all of my stamina and damage, and I take 2 souls, which I'll return to the bonfire, spend all 4 of them to increase my dexterity to 29. That means I can now use a claymore. So I'll put my longsword in my backpack and equip my claymore. Now normally the claymore here is 2-handed, which means that I need to remove the other card from the other hand slot, but because it's an effigy shield, it says that I can still put this in my second hand slot while wielding a 2-handed weapon. Not only is the claymore very powerful with its attacks, but it also gives me a guard value, and it has a range of 1. So I'll be pretty safe from most enemy attacks. This encounter is done, and I'll move to the tile north of here, which is also the tile east of the bonfire. What do we got? We got a lot of Silver Knight soldiers. We have 2 on the single sword node, 1 on the double sword node, and even a Silver Knight Great Bowman. And there's a measly barrel off in the north. So for my placement, I would choose to be in this corner, because the Silver Knights will go first. They're trying to get 2 spaces closer. 1, 2, they don't reach. Their range is 0. This second Silver Knight will move 1, 2, still also can't reach. But this Great Bowman will shoot me at that distance. My defense is 1 blue and 2 blacks, and I'm looking for 4. Only getting 3 means I take 1 damage. It's fine, and then the Bowman moves backwards, away from me. So for my attack, I get to use my claymore at a range of 1, and that attack is 2 blue dice plus 1. These blue dice have a minimum of 1 sword on them. So if they're both rolling minimum of 1, and I get a +1 automatically, that means I'll always roll a minimum of 3. The resistance of that Silver Knight Swordsman is 2, and they only have 1 health, which means they'll always die. But I might as well make my free move to get closer to that Great Bowman, because these Silver Knights will always be in range of me. But I might as well spend 1 stamina to move up even closer, because at the start of my turn I'm going to recover 2 stamina anyways, so I'd rather not let that bonus go to waste. Now the Silver Knights will go, 1 at a time. He goes 1, he goes 2, and he attacks. Looking for 5s. And 3, 4, 5, I block it. I still get hit, so the push will still move me. Then this Silver Knight will do the same. 3, 4, 5, also blocked. Also pushed, and now the Great Bowman shoots at point blank range. 3, 4, 5, 6, and he backs away. Now for me. I recover the 2, but I'll spend 1 against the Great Bowman. He's also dead. I'll move once for free and spend 1 to get away from those Silver Knights. Even though I've been rolling well, I don't want to take my chances of taking needless damage. So, Silver Knight, 1, 2, 1, 2. My turn, I recover the 2, spend the 1, dead. Move for free, move once, move twice. Silver Knight, 1, 2, still can't reach me. My turn, recover 2, spend 1. Yeah. That attack was so powerful it reduced my dexterity somehow. Alright. Successful encounter means I take 2 souls. So there's only 1 tile left to explore, and that's the one southwest from the bonfire. I'll go check that out and then decide what to do with my souls afterwards. This tile here has the fog gate to the north, so after beating this encounter, I could take a shot at the Titanite Demon. And this one has 2 large hollow soldiers. 1 here, and 1 here. A barrel off in the corner that nobody cares about, and a treasure chest. Unfortunately, the way this is positioned, one of these hollow soldiers will attack me. So which one do I want to deal with? I'll go with this one. So the hollow soldiers will attack first. This one will move 1 space closer. Then this one will move onto my node, and I'll attempt to block the damage. Looking for 5s. Only blocking 4 means I take 1 damage, and the push hit still happens. So from here, I'll spend, you know what? I'll spend 4. I want these guys to definitely die quickly. Don't want to waste my time dancing around them. My strong attack is 2 orange dice, and still I get a +1 modifier to this. So that's 4. They have a resistance of 1, means that that guy takes 3 damage. I'll take my free move, and then they go. He's trying to get closer, he's trying to get closer. So for my turn, I'll recover 2, and I can still spend 4 for 2 orange dice. That will kill you. Then the large hollow tries to get closer, and I'll recover 2, spend 1, and attack with 2 blue dice. 3, 4, 5, plus 1, 6, minus 1, still 5, and that's all of his health. Why was that more successful that time? Oh well. I'll recover all of my stamina, all of my damage, and open this treasure chest, and I find a Thrall Axe. A good early game weapon, no longer useful because of my sweet claymore. Murakumo. This is a good weapon for a dodge tank, or a dodger in general, because it's a weapon that gives a dodge value. Don't need either of these weapons. I'll get 2 souls for the encounter, and I'm going to travel back to the bonfire just for a moment. I just want to assess what I have here. Some options for me. A staff, although I have very good range as it is, don't necessarily need that. Curry will provide bleed, but this blood gem will also provide bleed. A Titanite shard is pretty good, and heal. Honestly, I think adding the blood gem would be the best for my damage output. The staff, not so much. The curry keys, no, if I'm going to go with the blood gem. The heal wouldn't be too bad. And actually, I probably could still use it. Although, okay, the blood gem requires 15 strength, I can use that. The heal requires 23 faith, which I can use now. So you know what? Let's use up all of my souls. Faith to 23. Put this in my backpack for potential use later. And equip this blood gem onto my claymore. Now this blood gem is permanently fused to my claymore, and the claymore can no longer receive any upgrades because it is at its maximum. Now you might think I'm in a great position, and I am. As I said, it all depends on the luck of the draw. But the Titanite Demon is no pushover, I can guarantee you that. So if I were to make my attempt at it now, I have a good chance of winning, but I've used my Estus shard here, which means I won't have that in my fight with him. Which means I'll more than likely die. I've got a great weapon, there's no doubt about that, but my defense still isn't at the level that I would want it to be. If I could add 1 more blue dice to my defense via my armor, or even add an orange dice, or anything like that, then I would feel super confident. But with this, I still might be cutting it close. But you know what? With the heal, I might be able to balance that out. So, I'll give him a shot. And if I die, oh well. And here we have the Titanite Demon. Looking at its status card, we can see that his behavior deck requires 4 cards. So we'll take the standard cards and deal 4 of them. Unfortunately, I didn't reveal any gravestones on the tiles that I explored, so I won't be able to look at any of these cards, which means I just have to shuffle them and place them aside. His health will be set to 22, and I get to place myself on one of the entrance nodes, and I will be off to the side. And now the boss fight begins. He's going to grab and smash. He only looks at one of the adjacent tiles that is closer to me. He doesn't move, which means he doesn't do anything. But to help get into a better position for me, I can turn him because he's trying to face one of the adjacent nodes. Like so. So now his exposed arc is on the right side. I could run up and go tag him, but maybe I should stand back and wait for what he does. For now, perhaps I'd be better off just moving up 1. Now it's his turn again. Tail whip. Now he's going to try to move closer to me twice. So we can have him go 1, turn to face me, 2, which also pushes me back onto this node, and then he attacks everyone who is not in his front arc. So anyone in these spaces would get hit, but that means I'm in the clear. And now I'm even in his exposed arc, which means on my turn, I'll spend 4 stamina and give him a heavy strike in the face. Because I'm in the exposed arc, I also get a bonus of 1 black dice. 2, 3, plus 1 is 4. His resistance is 3. I'm only dealing 1 damage. So now he's at 21 health. But my weapon has bleed, which means he now gets a bleed token. We'll see what that does in a bit. His next attack, lightning bolt. He is going to move backwards and shoot lightning at me. This lightning does 5 magic damage, which is my worst defense. I have to roll 2 black dice and try to get 5. It's not possible. But I get 2. I think I'll keep it like that, meaning I still take 3 damage. Not great, but not much else I can do. Now I'm going to swap out my claymore on my turn after recovering 2 stamina so I can have my heal in place. Then I'll use my strongest heal to recover 4 damage. As I only have 3, that means I'm fully recovered. But also not in a great spot because I had to swap out my claymore for that, meaning I reduced my defense value temporarily. Next turn I'll put my claymore right back on. So what's your last attack? Vicious swing. So he's going to turn 180 degrees and then hit everyone in his front, right, and rear arcs, but only at a range of 1, so I actually avoid that attack as well, which is great. So then it's my turn. Now I know your pattern. So I wonder, should I go in for the attack or should I wait? Because his first attack is going to be the grab, and I know I can avoid that. So how should I position myself so that for the second attack, which is the tail whip, I'm also not in a bad spot? I guess I should stay here then. I'm playing it too safe, but I need a better position. Or at least I need to reduce my stamina. Grab and smash. He doesn't move, but he turns to face me. Then he attacks me, but he misses, and that ends his turn. So then I recover 2, and now I get to move. I'll go once for free and spend 1 to be in his exposed arc, and spend 4 stamina to do my heavy attack. That is 3, 6, 7, 8. Minus 3, 5, minus 1 is 4. So he'll get reduced 1, 2, 3, 4 to 17. But now, whenever a model with bleed takes damage, you discard bleed and deal an additional 2 damage. So he's actually now at 15. And bleed goes right back on. This is a great way to whittle down tough opponents like the Titanite Demon, because his effect does not work in conjunction with bleed. I'm just going to swap these out because my intention was to have my claymore, of course. Now it's his turn. Tail whip. He's going to move 2 spaces forward. Unfortunately, that pushes me off to the side, which is in his range. So I need to block 4 damage. And I do so, but that hit also pushes me, so I have to move one space further away even more. The next thing that's going to come my way is a lightning bolt. So on my turn, I'll heal 2, move once for free, and while I'm not attacking a weak arc, I would still like to do some damage. So I'm rolling 2 blue dice plus 1. 4, 5, minus 3 will deal 2 damage, putting him at 13. Then the bleed activates, reducing his health by another 2. It should be noted that the Titanite's heat up value is 10. There's a little marker here on the dial that shows the heat up value at 12, but that's incorrect. So he's still 1 point away from heat up. But now he does his lightning bolt, which means he goes backwards, pushing me. And which spot should I go to? He's going to do the 180, and then which arc gets exposed? I believe it's his left. So I'll get pushed this way. But I still have to block that lightning bolt, which is going to do 5 magical damage. 3. That's pretty good. And I'm tempted to use this heroic action token, which allows me to roll another blue dice and add it to my defense. And that's 5, which means I take no damage, but now I don't have a heroic action token. So now it's my turn. I recover 2. I'll move to this side for free and attack him for perhaps 4? 1, 2, 3. No. I should not. I should only attack him for 1, because if I do damage here, that's going to reduce him down to his heat up value, which means he'll get a new card and his deck will reshuffle. So the pattern might be different. So I'm only going to roll 2 blue dice and get plus 1 to it. 3, 4, 5. Minus 3 is 2. So he goes to 9. The bleed activates. So he goes down to 7. And now he heats up. We take his heat up cards, shuffle them, and add 1 to his behavior deck, which then also gets reshuffled. So now his pattern is different, and he's got a new powerful attack for me to deal with. And Vaulting Slam. Oh, this is a bad one. He leaps onto my node, which will push me. Let's try here. Yeah. And that leap will cause 6 damage. So I have to attempt to block that. I only blocked 3. 1, 2, 3. And then he turns to face me, but he doesn't do anything else. So that's my turn. I recover 2, and I need to start running away probably. Or maybe I stay there. Well, he might do the grab. He might do something else. I don't know. If I were to swap out my claymore, put my heal on. I know what other attacks he has, but I don't know the order anymore. So I'm going to go 1, spend 1, and then spend 3 to heal myself. Meaning now I have no damage. But I'm leaving myself semi-exposed here. So what would you do? Grab and smash. Perfect. He tries to face me, and he cannot reach. so he stays there. My turn. Recovering the 2 stamina, swapping out heal again. And now I can go on my offensive. Or perhaps I wait for him. I still want to recover a little bit more stamina before I take him on. So I'll move 1 space closer and see what he does. Vicious swing. He goes 180 and hits those nodes which I'm not on. And now his exposed arc is his left side. Great, perfect for me. Because I get to move here, and as this node counts as being in his side and rear arc, I will get my bonus. Recovering 2, spending 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 orange and 1 black dice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, minus 3, 4. Which reduces him down to 3 health. And then bleed brings him down to 1. He's gonna die. So your attack. Tail whip. Perfect. Because he's gonna face me. He's gonna move. Then I have to move onto a node that's still in his front arc, which is right here. Turns to face me again, moves, pushes me again, and now I'm in his front arc, which is the arc he is not attacking. Recover 2, spend 4, Titanite Demon. You are totally dead. 3, 4, 5, plus 1 for 6, minus 3 means you explode. And 0. That wasn't so bad, but if you were to look at this track bar, I was very close to dying many times. It's all about knowing your opponent's moves and knowing how to exploit their weaknesses and finding the right time to strike. You can't just go in haphazardly. Everything has to be a calculated maneuver. And so my reward will be 1 soul for every spark left on my dial, which is 5, and the boss's treasure cards, which is a Titanite card. That's fine, I think I have already 1 in my inventory, and a Titanite catching pole. This is a pretty good weapon. It's another range 1 weapon, and I think I have the stats to equip this now. Plus, it does magical damage, which most monsters don't have a good resistance to. And it even has a shift attack on one of its high cost abilities. That was pretty good, and yet somehow I fell too. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. And that's how it can be sometimes. And again, I also have a lot of experience with how to manipulate monsters and boss monsters to get my way. And if I didn't have that heal, then I would have definitely lost a lot sooner or had to play this a lot more safer. But just because I beat this mini boss easily does not mean that the main boss will be just as easy. In fact, the main boss might be significantly harder, and even getting to the main boss will be harder because I was only fighting level 1 and level 2 encounters, and we didn't see the Sentinel in either of them. So that just means he's all the more likely to appear on a level 3 encounter. And let me just tell you, Sentinels are bastards. Unless you have a magic attack or some sort of ranged bow, dealing with them is not easy. But we'll have to save that for next time. And that's where I'm going to need your help. Leave a comment below and tell me which main boss you would like me to fight. Should I fight Ornstein and Smough? They come together as a pair. If you remember them from Dark Souls 1, they have some pretty interesting mechanics behind them. Or should I fight the Dancer of the Boreal Valley? She's from Dark Souls 3, If you remember her, her attacks leave no openings, and getting around her is not safe. So let me know what you guys think. Until then, I'll leave this off to the side, and I'll see you next time. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Let's keep on rolling.